Hello, all you vinyl fanatics. All right, this is take 3, really. All right, I just posted a video of my my Genesis collection. It's the my 12-inch vinyl collection of Genesis, and what I decided I was going to do was do a video of my 7-inch collection. All right, because that has grown, and I wanted to. I've done that years ago, just like with my my albums and my 12-inch records. But I figured that I would do a video of my 7-inch collection as well. So I'm stumbling all over my words. I'm a mess because, and this is my 3rd take. So we'll see if I can get through it this time. All right. So anyway, let me start. And this is basically chronological. So I'm starting off with this 7-inch single, Happy the Man. This came out in 1972. All right. And this is an authentic UK 7-inch release on the Scroll label. If you saw the my 12-inch collection, you saw Nursery Crime, I think it was, with the Scroll label. Okay, it was a domestic release on Buddha, but it was well, licensed to Buddha, but it was a Scroll label. This is actually a UK release, a UK pressing of a record, Happy the Man. That's a non-album track with 7 stones on the back. I believe this was released right after Nursery Crime. I don't know the dates, the exact dates, but it was probably released after Nursery Crime came out. And Happy the Man did not make the album. I don't know if it was available to make the album at the time, but it obviously it's not on the record. But and before people get real excited about this picture sleeve, the record itself is genuine, okay? So, but this picture sleeve is a bootleg. In fact, I just glued these flaps, and because it was before, it just opened up. Now the flaps are glued, and now it looks almost like the real thing, although it's all wrinkled here. There's probably all kinds of things that would give it away that it's only a bootleg sleeve. But anyway, the record itself is genuine. I figure, what the hell, what's wrong with housing a genuine article in a bootleg sleeve, as long as I make it clear that the sleeve is not a genuine sleeve, and it's not. And here's the video to prove it. I'm admitting it right now, but it sure does look nice. It's really nice, and it probably looks pretty close to the real thing, but it's fake. This Happy the Man UK single, I have no idea what the value is. I didn't look that up. I should look it up. The single itself is in really, really good shape. I mean, it's very good plus to near mint. So both sides of that record are very, very clean. Oh, by the way, I did say it was non-LP, but that's not exactly true, and I should have included this in the Genesis 12-inch collection, but this is an album of various artists, a charisma compilation album, I should say, called One More Chance, and Happy the Man is the 3rd track down, you can see. All right, it's 2 minutes, 50 seconds. The mix of the song on the record, on this album that I'm holding, is slightly different. The Genesis catalog's so weird. They have a lot of these types of anomalies, but anyway, the mix of the song on this single and the mix of the song on this album here are slightly different. The introduction has a guitar that fades in, and on both of them, and on one of these there's some vocals. There's it fades in with the guitar. I can't remember if that's on the single or if it's on this LP, but it's on one of them. And one of them has it, one of them doesn't. So I could clarify that later sometime. But right now, let's just move on with this collection because I've already gone 5.5 minutes. So I'm going to try to make this much shorter than that 12-inch collection. Here's the bootleg single. This record came with that sleeve, okay? This sounds like shit. It's noisy. It's a really shitty pressing. And one thing that might make it apparent that it's a bootleg, and I'll go ahead and compare the two. I'll show them to you now. Well, first of all, this has a push-out center, but it's possible that this single was released with a push-out center and maybe a solid center. That's a possibility. I don't know. But look at the writing around the top of the perimeter of the label. Look how close it is to the edge of the label. And look at this one, how it's kind of like inside there's like a good 4 or 5 millimeters of space, all right, between the runout grooves, the plastic, and the that perimeter writing. That's going to be a dead giveaway. All right, that's as much as I could tell you. Everything else I looked at looks pretty close to genuine. The color's a little bit off too. This is just very pink, and this has, I don't know, almost like a little bit of orange in it or something. I don't know if you could really see it or not. I don't know. Anyway, the point being, this is a real record. It's a genuine record. It's a genuine pressing of a UK single. But this picture sleeve is a bootleg. All right, so let me just put it all away. I'm exhausted already. I can't believe it. I'll put this up here against this. We'll do that. All right. Yeah, I'm putting this back in the sleeve. I guess I treat my boots and my genuine articles with equal opportunity protection. Whatever the fuck that means. All right, man. That's Happy the Man is one of my pride and joys, the real single. What I have here is, and I have it in a genuine Atlantic sleeve, company sleeve, is I Know What I Like. This is a promotional single of I Know What I Like from '74. Stereo mono on Charisma. Probably, yeah, distributed by Atlantic. Okay, so, put it in one of these sleeves to protect it. It came in this sleeve. When I got this thing, when I acquired this, I can't remember where I got it from, but it did come in this genuine sleeve, which somebody wrote on here, $1.50. So, thanks for writing on the sleeve. I didn't even notice that. It's only on one side anyway. All right. At any rate, I thought this was nice. And man, this record is near mint on both sides. It sounds beautiful, very clear, very little noise. And this is my Italian copy of that same song, I Know What I Like, B-side is Twilight Alehouse. Here it is, folks. I know what I like. And Twilight Alehouse. This is the real thing too, man. And this ain't cheap. This is a one hot item, and it's another prized piece in my collection because I acquired this back in, I think it was 82 or 83. No, probably 83, maybe 84. I think it was 1983. It was right after the Genesis, the self-titled Genesis album that came out. And I was looking in the back of a record collector magazine, and I found this and three other prized Genesis singles, Genesis related, I should say. But this is one of them, and it is near mint. It's very, very, very quiet, beautiful, and it's nice to have that non-album track, Twilight Alehouse, which now you can get in a box set on CD, but it's nice to have that single, man. I like having that. Here's another one I got back in 1983. Carpet Crawl. It's funny. Carpet Crawl. Carpet Crawler. It's not Carpet Crawler, it's Carpet Crawl. In Italy. This is an Italian single. Whoops. And there you go. The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway on the B-side. So this is nice. And it's kind of an odd edit. That whole introduction, it just comes in, the crawlers cover the floor. It just comes right in. There's no introduction. That would have been nice, but they truncated it and took the introduction off of it, and that's what you get here. You get the short version. So here's another one. This is a German single, Counting Out Time, Riding the Scree. And this is an interesting release and an interesting edit, because you'd think Counting Out Time, they might just come in with the 12 bars right before he starts singing, I'm counting out time. Well, they didn't do that. What they did was they put a backwards piano note, and then it goes right into I'm counting out time. Here's the German single of Counting Out Time and Riding the Scree with a pink plastic pressed label. And another bizarre edit. Genesis has them, man. The Genesis catalog is a very strange catalog, man. All right. So it's pretty good shape. It's a little rough at the edge there, where you stick the sleeve, where you stick the record in the sleeve, but freaking clean enough for me, man. I love it. I'd call it very good plus the sleeve. All right. And here is Carpet Crawlers. See, in the UK, it's Carpet Crawlers. No picture sleeve with this. The B-side is, at the time this came out, this was unreleased. It's The Waiting Room Live, Evil Jam. And this single is actually, I'd probably rate it very good plus. Maybe not near mint. It's got a little bit of noise on it, but is in good enough shape for me to want to keep it. And I believe that the Evil Jam is actually the same recording from Los Angeles, 74, which is on the archive box set, archive box #1. I think it's the same recording. I never did A and B. I just don't have that kind of time. I wish I did. All right, and here I'm just putting that sleeve in a line. I'm putting that record in a line sleeve, and now it's better protected. Moving on. This is also a promotional single on Atco, The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, the title track. It's a stereo mono promotional copy. But boy, it's a hell of a lot more beat up. It's much noisier than I Know What I Like, which was, I mean, in absolutely pristine condition when I got it. And in a company sleeve too, no less, if that's the kind of thing you're into. A lot of collectors are. I like having it. But anyway, I got this. I could part with that, quite frankly, having the other ones with those picture sleeves. Okay, Gabriel's gone, and now we're talking about Trick of the Tail era stuff. And this is an Italian single, Ripples and It's Yourself. Wow. It's funny how I have that little, I'm gonna pop that out. Ripples with the stamp. It's Yourself, the B-side, a non-album track at the time that it came out. And of course, it's a beautiful song that goes into the part of the introduction to Los Endos. If you're familiar with It Yourself, you should be. If you're a Genesis fan, by now you should be very familiar with it, since it's been released in a couple of different versions on their box sets. But this is a nice, I mean, first of all, the single itself is very, 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 very clean. It's about as mint as you're going to find. And second of all, every digital version of It Yourself that I've heard fades out prematurely, just a little bit early. The single actually goes to a hard ending, and I don't understand why, when they released it digitally on those box sets, why they didn't allow it to end the way it does on the single. I don't understand what's with the fade out. It's a gripe I have with these guys. It's a real annoying, because the way it ends, the hard ending, is really, really nice. It's perfect. And somebody made the decision to fade it premature. I just don't get it. I don't know who did, but, you know. I have 2 more copies of this. It's one of my favorite, again, it's one of my prized possessions, these Italian single sleeves. Especially with the fact that you can't get it with that hard ending. So, and again, Ripples and Entangled, both edited versions. Okay, another promotional single, but with 2 songs on a different song on either side, both stereo. Another British single. I believe it's British. Yeah, made in England. It's not Irish or anything like that. That's right, that would have a paper sleeve, I guess. A Trick of the Tail, and B-side is Ripples. Okay. That purple label. Sounds a little like Focus maybe, but it's not Focus. It's Zhao again. Ah, and now, here, I'm not even gonna pull it out. Your Own Special Way. In England, Your Own Special Way had a B-side called It's Yourself, okay? For some reason, the B-side for Ripples in Italy became the B-side for Your Own Special Way in England. So, and here in Canada, I was on a trip. I went on a class trip to Canada when I was a senior, and I picked this up. What is it? Your Own Special Way. And the reason I picked it up was because the B-side is In That Quiet Earth, and I thought, wow, how cool to have a copy of this on a record where it just breaks into In That Quiet Earth, and then it just fades right before it goes into Afterglow. So I thought that was kind of cool. I like that with the company sleeve. If you saw my last video, you recognize this. Well, even if you didn't see my last video, I'm sure if you're a Genesis fan, you know about Spot the Pigeon. This is a British copy. If you've never seen it, if you have the Canadian release, and you never saw this British release, it's just a plastic label, you know, factory pressed. Okay. Match of the Day pigeons and Inside and Out. I picked this up right when it came out, and then my friend Beth got that 12-inch blue vinyl Canadian record and flipped my brain out. So, but of course I got I got 4 copies of that now, so who cares? But anyway, this is nice. Second copy of that. Same thing. And now we're getting to, Then There Were Three. Follow You, Follow Me. It's upside down. Follow You, Follow Me, and Ballad of Big. Okay. No non-album track here. Nice having that. Follow You, Follow Me. This is old gold. Follow You, Follow Me, and A Trick of the Tail. This actually came out in, what year? Years later. Old gold. I just put it in there chronologically because it's just old gold. Follow You, Follow Me. Ballad of Big. Japanese. Okay, the lyrics. I guess it's just for Follow You, Follow Me, yeah. Doesn't even have Ballad of Big. And If You Must See It. There it is. Some heavy drumming going on that record. Okay, so Japanese release. Okay, and here we go. Maybe the interesting release, single-wise, from Then There Were Three, is the American release of Follow You, Follow Me. It's a very different mix. Okay, I guess Ahmet Ertegun was the one who'd said, you know, maybe you guys ought to somebody ought to remix this and give it a more of a calypso kind of a feel. They did that on this single, and B-side has the non-LP Inside and Out from Spot the Pigeon. So, but a very different feel to Follow You, Follow Me on this American single. And just thought I'd point that out. Another copy of that same record. And here's the British Many Too Many. And this EP has 2 non-album tracks on the B-side called The Day the Light Went Out and Vancouver. The Day the Light Went Out is kind of like, almost like a science fiction kind of a thing. And then Vancouver is a ballad about a girl running away from home. And then she realized she made a mistake, and she comes home and her parents love her. It's a really happy ending. Bling. So, nice. Nothing on the back, really. Okay, just the title and that little guy right there. I love that guy. I love that dude. Same thing without the sleeve. Without the picture sleeve. Here we have Go West, Young Man. In the Motherlode, it's stereo mono. Nothing all that special. Profiles in Gold from Burger King. That's right. Now you can get a burger, fries, and a tiny 45 with Roberta Flack, Genesis, Chick, and Leif Garrett. What more could you ask? A Biggie fries, of course. This is these. I'm sure all the tracks on here are edited to death. Follow You, Follow Me, and Your Own Special Way. There's such short versions, it's almost like, basically what it is just a sampler record. And in fact, when I found it, I almost didn't buy it because it's like, what is this? So maybe somebody might be interested in having it, I don't know. I think it's pretty clean, if I remember correctly. I don't think it's all that beat up, but you play it at 33. Here is The Lady Lies on a Flexi disc. This is from Flexi Pop magazine. And it's a live version of The Lady Lies. I don't know if it's available anywhere else, and I don't even know if this was released on one of their box sets. I should have checked that out before I did this video, but I suppose you can double check that in Discogs if you're interested. But anyway, this is a nice version of The Lady Lies. Too bad it's only on a Flexi disc, this little piece of plastic, that green plastic. Here's another copy of that same Flexi disc. And now we move on to Duke. This is Duchess, a British copy of Duchess, and Open Door, which at the time was, again, a non-album track. Open Door. I believe this was a Rutherford composition. Yep. Pretty ballad, actually. Open Door. All right. So there's the back of that with the vase and the album cover. Another copy. I have so many duplicates, it's ridiculous. And here's Misunderstanding. It's backed with Evidence of Autumn. Okay. Man, I got these when they first came out, so man, they were really well taken care of. Mid shape. Here's Turn It On Again. And the Japanese B-side, well actually, and the B-side of this is, it says Behind the Lines. It's actually what they call, on the British single, they call it Behind the Lines Part 2, which makes you wonder if you're getting any new music, and you're not. You're getting an edited version of Behind the Lines. You're getting it without the introduction. Okay? So, if you're looking for this here, in fact, this is the Japanese single. If you're looking for this, Turn It On Again for Behind the Lines Part 2. You can see the guy running across the top there, but Behind the Lines Part 2 is just Behind the Lines without the huge introduction, which is on the album version. So you're just getting an edited version of Behind the Lines, just so you know. There was no picture sleeve issued in the United Kingdom for that single. This is a Spanish copy of that same single, I believe. Oh, Holland. This is a Holland pressing. It's not Spanish. Okay. And this is a domestic version of Misunderstanding with Behind the Lines on the back. Excuse me. Jesus. I think this might be the full version of Behind the Lines, as opposed to what they give you in the UK and all those other regions where they released it. It's just Part 2. But I suppose that might make it an interesting listen to hear it without that introduction, the way it breaks into it. But anyway, so here you get, in America, we got Misunderstanding and Behind the Lines. I think the full album version. All right. Turn It On Again and Evidence of Autumn. This is a domestic copy of Turn It On Again and Evidence of Autumn. Misunderstanding, a promotional copy. Both sides are stereo with a blue label. And here you have Abacab. This is an early pressing of the single in the UK, because it's got a paper label. Nice customized paper label. Another record is the B-side. Now, see, I like this, man. Even though these are both album tracks, well, Abacab is an edited version, but even though these are, it's got music that they're both from the actual album. There's no non-album B-side. I like it for that label. That label's so cool. And I kind of like it for the picture sleeve itself too. Even though it's not all that special, I still have to say I like these picture sleeves. Another copy. Another copy. Oh yeah, I have 3 copies with that fancy colored custom label. I think, yep, this is going to be a later pressing. Okay, but it's not the regular Charisma label. It's actually still a custom plastic pressed label. Another record on the B-side. It's the way they write Genesis is that little cursive writing thing. But certainly that paper label is a lot nicer looking, is preferable. Man, I have too many copies of this. And this is a domestic pressing in America. B-side is Whodunit. Nothing special about the label. See, in America, they're so boring. Jesus Christ. How about a nice fancy label, man? How about a nice color label? Something that stands out. It's this ugly red Atlantic label, which is fine. Except, I want more. I want more, you bastards. All right, now Man on the Corner and Submarine. In England, Man on the Corner was pressed with and released with a picture sleeve. I was not about to pay $50 for a copy of this single with a picture sleeve. It's just nuts. For some reason, I guess they only pressed a few. Maybe it was like, you know, years ago in England when they released Strawberry Fields Forever. In England, they released that with a picture sleeve, but it was only the first 1,000 maybe. Maybe that's what they did with this one. But anyway, the B-side is a non-album track, Submarine. Okay? This is another one. I actually have a few copies of it, I think. Maybe not. Maybe just this one. I know I have a copy of it in a picture sleeve in Spain, from Spain. Here's Keep It Dark and Namananu, another non-album cut on the B-side. Both Submarine and Namananu are just, they're instrumentals. And they're nice, actually. I like them, but... Okay, Namananu, Keep It Dark. I think fans tend to like Keep It Dark. I know I did. I thought it was a great single. I thought it was a great track, I mean. And I think it makes a great single. Copy of that. Here's Man on the Corner. Special mix, they call it in Spain. Is this Spain or Portugal? This is actually released on the Vertigo label, by the way. Man on the Corner. And Submarine on Vertigo. I thought this was a Spanish release. Well, I'm not gonna dwell on that anyway. But it is a slightly different mix. It ain't that different. It's not a dramatic difference by any means. I think the hi-hat's a little bit higher up in the mix. Not all that big a deal. All right. Man on the Corner, Domestic, and Submarine. Okay. On the Atlantic label. And now we're getting to Three Sides Live. I mean, Three Sides Live. Well, yeah, actually, we sort of are. Genesis 3x3. It says stereo and mono. I don't know why it says stereo and mono. I don't know what's in mono. But here's an EP. I can't believe they didn't release this on a 12-inch. It's only available on here, and it's available on domestically here in America. It's available on Three Sides Live, the tracks from here. And Paper Late and You Might Recall are on the A side of this EP, 33 1/3 EP, and the B side is Me and Virgil. And Me and Virgil, it's like 6 minutes long, I think, 6.5 minutes long. But which explains why it's at slow speed. But anyway, I thought this was really cool when it came out, man. I was excited about it. And You Might Recall might be one of the prettiest Genesis songs. Might be one of the prettiest Genesis songs ever, quite frankly. It's really a beautiful song. Here's the picture disc, if you want to see that. Okay, these were pretty common all over the place, so I picked one up. They're probably not even that expensive to pick up now. And it actually was playable. It wasn't all that noisy. I didn't think it was. It had a slight warp to it, but it wasn't noisy. Here is, wow, look at that. Japanese single. It's not an EP, it's just Paper Late on side A and You Might Recall on side B. On WEA. Why it's not on Charisma, I'll never know. I don't get that at all. Why did Warner Elektra Atlantic release it and not Charisma Records in Japan? Somebody answer that question. All right. This is domestic release here in America. Another copy. Okay, here's a bounce backwards blast from the past. This is, and I put it here because this was actually released in '82. There's another version of this that was released in '74. This is an Italian single, okay? And in Italy, they released this in '74. Then they re-released it in '82. And I did my research on this before I did this video, purposely for the video. This is In the Beginning and The Serpent, so it's from their very first album, From Genesis to Revelation. Okay. And it is an Italian single. They released this, a copy of this, in '74. So I guess back in '74 they were trying to capitalize on the popularity of the band. Decca Records was. And I'm talking about Decca in Italy, I guess. I know that in Italy, Genesis was very, very popular early on in Italy. Okay. So I guess in '74, Decca Records is watching Charisma go. They're watching Charisma with all this popularity that Genesis is getting, and they're saying, well, let's not miss the boat. So they released a copy of this in '74, almost exactly the same as this single, but one of the telltale signs that it was a 1974 release is that these words, edizione, original edition, that's in yellow. The 1974 release is in yellow, and they re-released it in '82. And to differentiate, well, I don't know if it was intentional, but anyway, the difference in the '82 release and the '74 release is that those two words are in white on the '82 edition, and that's obviously what this is. It still fetches quite a bit of money, according to Discogs. I mean, they got a few for sale at about $50 a piece. I can say this is as mint as you're gonna find, as clean as you're gonna find. Here you go. Here's Firth of Fifth. This came out in a little picture sleeve. This Flexi disc, live, Firth of Fifth live. It actually came out on a picture sleeve similar to this, but again, this is just a bootleg. And as a matter of fact, I made this. I found it online and I printed it up. It's from Genesis Information, from their fan club. It sucks because I joined their fan club around the same time, and I missed out on this little picture sleeve, so I'm bummed out about it. But I do have a copy of Flexi. I got that used from somewhere, and this is so unclear. I'm sure that, I mean, this is obviously a bootleg sleeve. I'd like to see a real copy. All right, then Genesis came out, self-titled, from 1983. This single, Mama. And it has a custom paper label. Just like the 12-inch. These are the LP versions. They're not extended versions. I don't think so anyway. I'm pretty sure that these are the same length as the LP. If you saw my 12-inch collection, I point out that the 12-inch versions of these two songs are longer than the album. All right. So if you want when it says extended version of the song, it is extended. It's actually longer than the LP version. Here is That's All. And Taking It All Too Hard is the B-side. The 12-inch has a live version of Firth of Fifth on the B-side. Here's, again, That's All. Picture disc. Here is Ellie Lalian and Turn It On Again, new live version. And I think this might be an edited version, slightly shorter than the 12-inch. I'm not sure about that, quite frankly now, but they say that. This is, I think, from Holland again, a 7-inch version of Home by the Sea. Pretty sure this was Holland, or was this France? I don't know. It's on Vertigo. It's Vertigo Records. It's Home by the Sea. The B-side is That's All. I think it was Holland, but I am not going to say for certain that that's true. But I do like the sleeve, and I like how this is supposed to be for Illegal Alien, this goofy picture, and Illegal Alien's not on here. It's That's All is the B-side. So go figure, they're mixing up their art. Another Vertigo, another from some other region, maybe Spain. This is a promotional copy. Mama and It's Gonna Get Better. I don't know what region this was. I thought it was maybe Spain. It could be. It might. Made in Holland. I just saw it. Weird, because it's just a sample record, not for sale. On the that little sticker makes it a promo, so it's not for sale. I guess I'm supposed to bring it back to the radio station. Like that's gonna happen. Here is a domestic copy. Oh look, Atlantic got fancy. Look what they did. They came up with a nice custom label for it. I'm very impressed. So, congratulations, Atlantic. You're moving up in the world. Here's That's All, and Second Home by the Sea is the B-side. Funny, because this side is actually That's All. This side is Second Home by the Sea. So America can't even get that right. Here's a promo copy of that same record, That's All. Here is Illegal Alien and Turn It On Again. They're using the same custom label as Mama. So this is domestic. Atlantic release. And Taking It All Too Hard. Same picture, same label. I mean, and Silver Rainbow is the B-side. Maybe America's the only territory that released Silver Rainbow on a single. I don't know. Okay, so there you go. There you go. Genesis, Invisible Touch with the Last Domino. And here it is, the picture disc. Looks kind of like my white vinyl version of Abacab. Yeah, that same kind of label. Here's the label that tells you what's what. Okay, but here's one of the rare color vinyl Genesis releases. And this here, let's do this. Let's protect it. Okay. Let's open this up and show you what the hell they came up with. I don't know who designed this thing. What a stupid thing. Look at this stupid package. Look at it. Look at it. It's a really stupid package, isn't it? This is stupid. Side one. Oh, This is just advertising the fucking album. Holy shit, man. This just blows. I guess this came out before the album, so it's advertising that this is on the way. But this is it. This is what they did. They came up with this weird fold-up thing. I'd love to know who came up with this idea. I'd fire him on the spot. This is the dumbest packaging I ever saw. I don't appreciate it. I think it sucks. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Did I say I hate it, by the way? I fucking hate it, man. It's stupid. It is so stupid. But I'm a collector, so I bought it. I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker. Okay. Oh, bought it twice. Or maybe one of these was a gift, quite frankly, because maybe one was a gift and two I bought. Okay. It's embarrassing. I'm sorry. I'm really ashamed of myself for even thinking about buying it. Here's In Too Deep, second single from that album, and Do the Neurotic. Here's the custom labels for it. In Too Deep, Do the Neurotic. Oh. Awesome. Third single, Land of Confusion, Feeding the Fire. Great song. Fourth single, Tonight, Tonight, Tonight. B-side is In the Glow of the Night. Two good songs. And this is, what is this? Throwing It All Away. This is the album version of Throwing It All Away. The 12-inch with a similar picture disc, picture sleeve, has the live version of Throwing It All Away. And the B-side is I'd Rather Be You. Same B-side. That's the non-album studio cut. French Invisible Touch. Somebody got me that. I didn't buy that. Domestic copy of Invisible Touch. Oh, and The Last Domino is the B-side. Same as in England. Land of Confusion, Feeding the Fire. This is the domestic single. Oh, a black Atlantic label. Okay, so it's not the regular Atlantic label. They got fancy again. Wow, look at that. Okay. Oh, I never should have took it out. There. And Tonight, 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 In the Glow of the Night. This is, again, a domestic release. Oh. I'm shaking my head because I'm ashamed of myself. Look at this. Two different picture sleeves, right? They're the same record, and they have the same catalog number even. It's 7-89290. Okay? But they managed to get me to buy it twice because they put it out twice in two different picture sleeves. Why? 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 I don't know, but I bought them. I wonder if one is rarer than the other. I don't know. And I'm sure it doesn't matter anyway. I'm not going to retire on that. In Too Deep and I'd Rather Be You. This is a domestic single again. And Throwing It All Away and Doing the Neurotic. Domestic. So in America, they put out 5 singles, one with 2 sleeves. Thanks. Here's Invisible Touch promotional. If somebody would like that record, I will mail it to you. You tell me if you want it and I'll mail it to you. Land of Confusion, Feeding the Fire. I'll mail this to you too. You can have it. Now we're getting to the last album. I'm not even looking at Congo. The hell with that record. I'm sorry. I'm stopping at We Can't Dance. So this is the first single from the album. The catalog number is Gen S6. No Son of Mine. B-side is Living Forever. They're both album tracks. No special. It's a silver here. Look, you want to see? It's a silver pressed label. No paper label. No fancy blarg. Okay. You see? Okay. Nothing fancy. Virgin Records. I don't know, they kind of got lazy. But I did want to get a copy of this. I got all the singles, all the 7-inch singles from this album. And I want to show them to you now. This is the first one. Here's the second one. I Can't Dance. B-side is On the Shoreline. On the Shoreline's great. Great song. I'm not even gonna pull out these records anymore because there's not even any paper label. Picture sleeve is all you need to see. This is Hold On My Heart. Side 2 is Way of the World. They're both album tracks. Jesus, He Knows Me. B-side is Hearts on Fire, a non-album song. So it's worth getting this for that. I happen to have 2 copies of it because I ordered it from one guy and then I ordered it from somebody else. Tell Me Why and Dreaming While You Sleep Live is the B-side. And the very last item to show you is Genesis Live, Invisible Touch Live. My least favorite Genesis song, probably Invisible Touch. All right, so that's the last single I got. And then Abacab Live is the B-side. I did check out the, oh, this is fancy too. It's got like a, here's the single. Okay, same picture on the cover. But this came with like a little booklet. Okay, here I'll show you the pictures. All right. So, look, they didn't even take pictures of the band. They just took pictures of the screens behind the band. Jesus, this is cheap. I'm very, very disappointed. Look at this. It's like a video going on. I don't even think that's a picture. I don't even think that's a shot of the person on the stage. Here he's doing Mama. You can see. Ha ha ha. Ha. Right? It's got to be Mama. That's when he makes that face. Here's something so sad, huh? Twin Towers, right? No longer there. That's probably The Lamb Lies Down. All right. Right? Right? And then the tour dates. Nothing over here, except for the record. So anyway, that is my 7-inch Genesis collection. I'm gonna have to do the same thing for Peter Gabriel, but that ain't happening anytime right away. So have a nice night.